Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for the Environment and Energy. Will the Minister update the House on developments following the extraordinary meeting of the COAG Energy Ministers on Friday? Is the Minister aware of any challenges facing Australia's energy security?
The Minister for the Environment and Energy.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I thank the member for Boothby for her question and acknowledge that her constituents from Mitcham to Blackwood, from Dover Gardens to Somerton Park, have experienced the hard economic and community costs that came with the SA blackout on the 28th of September. It was against this backdrop that the COAG Energy Council meeting was called and ministers came together to find more common ground. We were briefed on the developments in battery storage, on the hardening of infrastructure, on the need for more interconnectors between states, and we of course had a briefing from the market operator on what happened in South Australia, and of course we had a robust discussion about the state-based, the aggressive state-based renewable targets and the implications that they have. But, Mr Speaker, there was a big breakthrough on the meeting in two key points. Firstly, there was an agreement by the ministers, an express agreement, that their primary responsibility is energy security, reliability and affordability. And secondly, there was an agreement by ministers that there would be an independent review that would be chaired by the Chief Scientist, Alan Finkel, which would look at energy security and provide recommendations back to ministers about the policy, the legislative and the governance reforms that may be needed. But I'm asked, Mr Speaker, are there any challenges to this approach? And the greatest challenge comes from those opposite, with their reckless pursuit of ideological approach to renewable energy targets without thinking through the implications for energy security. Now, Mr Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition has a renewable energy target of 50% by 2030. Now, we are told that will require 10,000 turbines. Where are they going to be built? In Maribyrnong, I presume. Now, Mr Speaker, Bloomberg Energy Finance
The Minister will just resume his seat for a second. The members for Gellibrand and Shortland are warned. I wasn't at all confident they'd hear the warning unless I interrupted the Minister. The Minister has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Labor's 50% renewable energy target by 2030, we're told by the Bloomberg Clean Energy Finance, will cost at least $48 billion. Now, Mr Speaker, if you had a $48 billion program, you'd expect you'd have a bit of detail to show. So I went to the Labor Party's policies at the last election. And what did I find, Prime Minister, on page 11? And I'll quote, "In government, Labor will announce the proposed design details for their RET by October the 1st, 2017, Mr Speaker. We have to wait to next year to even see the detail. But not everybody in the parliament or elsewhere is too happy with Labor. Tony Marr, the president of the CFMEU, has said he's very concerned about the impact on the cost and jobs of that particular policy. Mr Speaker, the party that gave us cash for clunkers, green loans, the carbon tax and, of course, the Citizens' Assembly can now not be trusted with a renewable energy target.